What's going on, everybody? So today is Friday, March 31st, the last day of my little experiment for this month. Quick weigh-in updates. Weighed in at an all-time low for this month of 164.2. The average weight for the week came in at 167.2. So going back over the previous 5 weeks that I've been doing this, week 1 was 170.1, week 2 169.8, week 3 168.8, week 4 168.5, and as I just said, this week 167.2. So all in all, it was a good month. My time in the gym, lifting weights and stuff like that, very good energy levels, no problems there. One of the things I was kind of concerned about going into doing this little experiment with fast food is the sodium content for preserving food at places like that tends to be a lot higher. So I was kind of concerned about maybe holding water, bloating a little bit because of that, but I think overall just drinking enough water to help flush that out kept me from doing that too much. So, you know, it'd be one of those things where once you got on the process of doing it, your body would get acclimated to those high sodium levels and it wouldn't be such a big deal versus if you were yo-yoing back and forth between a few days at very low sodium and then like a couple days at very high sodium, because your body's constantly trying to keep things balanced out, and so whenever it swings sodium that much, you tend to hold water. So as I said, doing the whole month of fast food and having high sodium levels, I think kind of balanced that all out, and drinking enough water to flush it out. I did attempt this last week, the first 4 days, so what was it, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I tried to keep my carbs low. The goal was to hit right around 50 grams those 4 days. I think I was more or less right around 80 grams a couple days and maybe 60 the other 2 days. So a little bit higher than I wanted, but it to some extent still achieved the result I wanted, because whenever I started adding back in my carbs, I only went up to what my goals were for calories overall on Wednesday and Thursday. It came in a little less on Thursday actually, because I just didn't feel like eating. But by doing that, I dropped the weight, and like I said, I had a low weigh-in this morning at 164.2. So I could have probably easily bumped up my carbs on Wednesday and Thursday, probably another 100 grams a piece, maybe even more. But I didn't. I got something coming up next weekend, so I didn't really want to get too far out from where I'm at right now. But the takeaway, and I'm hoping that people see this, is that ultimately it does come down to your overall calorie intake that determines whether or not you gain or lose weight. So it doesn't matter where you eat or what you eat, it comes down to how much you eat. And this, hopefully, like I said, this experiment kind of sheds light on that, so that if you're not really one to meal prep, or you don't like eating the same foods over and over, or you know, life is busy, because I've got 3 kids, so I know that things can get busy at times, especially if you have kids and you're trying to rush them out the door in the morning or something, and you just didn't have time to get your food. Then you can still eat out, grab something out somewhere, and just make sure you make good picks, good choices whenever you're at the restaurant or wherever it is you're going to eat at. And it only takes a second to pull out your phone and an app and, you know, put in something that you're looking at on the menu while you're waiting in line, and punch that in and see how many calories comes up and see what its, you know, fat, carb, and protein ratio is like. Me personally, whenever I was going to these different places to eat, my goal was always to find something that had adequate protein, minimal levels of fat, some fat, and then depending on what day of the week or where I was at in the day, you know, that would adjust my carbs, because it's really easy, and this is one reason why I didn't do burgers or pizza. I could have, but I chose not to, because I would have slammed all my calories into one sitting, and the rest of the day would have kind of sucked. But with burgers and pizzas and things like that, those tend to be very high fat, very high carb, while protein is very, very low. So the ratios just don't mix that well for me and my purposes. So that's something that you would have to look at as well. But the primary point, if you're trying to lose weight though, should always be your overall calories. Whatever those macro makeups, the carb, fat, proteins are, it'll still be your overall calories in the day. So I'm kind of glad this is done. In a way, it was actually kind of good, because I feel like I might have actually been far more strict with my logging and actual intake than what I normally am, because sometimes I get kind of lazy until I really focus on buckling down. This way kind of made it a little bit easier for me, because I could either, while I finish up at the gym, punch in my food there, or if I knew what my day was going to be like whenever I wake up in the morning, get my day going, I could think about what I wanted to eat and just punch it in right there. You know, waiting in line for, you know, them to take my order, I could just punch it in right there too. So that made it easier versus coming home, because the way I do it at home, I don't actually have like individual Tupperwares laid out that I pre-weigh and put everything in. I just have a big bowl of my protein, whatever that happens to be, usually turkey right now since it's getting ready for summer. And I just scoop out, weigh it in my scale right here. The same thing with my rice, and then I just heat up some broccoli for my vegetable. So that I can get kind of lazy doing that. But with eating out, the information's already there. I'm just going by what they have on their website or what MFP, MyFitnessPal, has in the database, and went with that. And like I said, overall, you know, I can't complain. I was able to do what I wanted to do, which was either maintain my weight when I started this, or what my goal really was to slowly cut down over the course of the month. And that I was able to do. So anyway, hopefully this has been informative. You've had a chance to see what it's like and giving you some ideas, and can be a little bit more free with how you look at food going forward. Anyway, have fun. Questions, comments, criticisms, complaints, you can always post those down below, and I will try to answer them.